results, the past, I would say 4 PLEs, pay-per-views, wherever you want to call them. So talk about those 4. Um, Also, a lot of Bucks news and like during, for the past, I will say week. So, from the morning of the draft all the way through, now. Believe me, I ain't got no fan club. It's funny they said that I have a fan club. But let's see, those 3, like I said, Bucks news. So, they did a lot of signings and I would say it's good news and bad news type of way for the Bucks. Especially, they're preparing for the young ones are preparing for the summer league starting this Saturday. So yeah, they got a lot to go because yeah, the Bucks were invited to participate in the California Classic. So they got 3 games there. Then on the 9th, their summer league season will start. But what's going on in California Classic is going to count as wins and losses. It's going to count. So talk about that. Ooh, let's see. Let's see. Um, Probably not some comic book stuff just yet. So we probably would just say that for like another time because
You don't want to share my comic book coloring book?
though I mean like
No, it's fine.
like I said, probably like comic book movies and TV news we're gonna say for like another time because X-Men 97 came out today with start with first 3 episodes. And plus this woman over there got to like catch up with the rest of the first season.
I watched all of the first season.
You did?
Yes,
Thought you didn't.
I watched it all.
Okay.
I watched some of it with Robert, some of it with you, and the rest by myself.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You left me alone some nights.
Junior Bud 909, thank you for
Defend for
subscribing to the
myself
channel.
against the world.
So you against the world.
Yes.
Oh, to champion 624. We gonna talk about results of, the past 4 pay-per-views within, like a 24-hour span, or you want to say 48-hour span that was going on. So, hey, I appreciate it. Subscribing, appreciate it, especially for you guys that's on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and when we get to that point, we will start doing giveaways, and I know you guys gonna want some free stuff. So,
I want free stuff. What's my giveaway?
please subscribe. My give no, let me shut up because I was
You
gonna.
need to keep your mouth shut. You're going to get banned from TikTok for that look.
Probably will. Like I can probably say it, but if something happens, then you can't be doing that. Oh man. But crazy enough. Joey 1234033. Welcome to the live. Appreciate it. For you guys that's watching currently on TikTok, we are doing a giveaway.
See, I already sent you my word and you didn't even give me a prize or nothing.
Wait, you did?
I sent from my old account, which is probably gone now. Because it's been banned.
But since when the Dallas Cowboys don't play?
Dallas Cowboys are already out of playoff contention. So
Yep. That's funny. Before the preseason start, somebody always put up, Cowboys are already
eliminated.
yep from playoff contention. And I thought that's just some of the funniest stuff that, oh man.
Hip hurts.
Your hip hurts.
Yeah.
They did an air ball. Oh, that's a good one. Uh, over medium Bob, welcome to the live. As I was saying about you guys that's watching on TikTok, we do have an autograph Bushwhacker Loop picture. After
Did
this,
you tell us Cowboy cheerleaders actually made it to more playoffs as well?
probably more Pro Bowls.
Ooh, bird.
uh, I would have to give it some time because I got to get to know you before I can make anybody like a mod. So you're like,
Shit, I'm married to the man. He won't make me a mod, so I mean,
I
he'll
did
be.
make you a mod.
Oh, well, you too?
Yeah,
Okay, never mind.
I was gonna say I did make you a mod. But if you're being on here every time we go live, sooner or later you probably will be put on as a mod. Um,
Because I argue too much with idiots.
yeah.
Tell me where I'm lying.
No, you ain't lying. Not at all. Uh, yeah, but anyways, I know air. Oh, that's funny. But anyways, you guys that are interested in that autograph Bushwhacker Loop poster, well, photo, I should say. I don't know why I say poster, but anyways, after this show, all you guys got to do is send me an email with any wrestling word you can think of. Not cuss words or anything like that, but just
Oh, see,
any.
that's why I didn't want it.
You said a cuss word,
I
didn't you?
told you to suck it.
Well, it is kind of a wrestling word from Degeneration
I know,
X.
but it's still cussing, so.
Oh God.
How many love me?
I will ask the wife that question because I think she's more into the World Cup than I am.
Go for it. What's the
What do
question?
you think is who you think is winning the World Cup?
Okay, hold on. I got this off me. To be honest, I don't know. And I'll tell you why. There has been so many turnabouts and everything. I mean, the US has gone further this time around than they have in the past 24 years. So, I mean, they're playing extraordinarily well.
Right.
England, I would love to see take the World Cup home because I'm English. So, I want to start singing this coming home, it's coming home. But they're facing Mexico, which is another team who has played extraordinarily well. So I think right now it's very hard to say. Mexico, I think, is up there though. But we shall see. This, as I say, there's some really good teams, and all that lot.
Right. She must have taken them out.
No, they're still above us.
Oh, they're just making noise. I take it.
Just making noise.
It's crazy. But, so she got her okay, so the final he think Mexico versus USA will be the final.
Do you know what? I could see that. I really could see that right now. Because the US has, it shocked a lot of people with, how far and how well they've been playing.
Right.
Especially as soccer is not a US sport. I mean, it really isn't.
Right.
So. But I can honestly say, though, just by everything that I've been watching, both on TV and online and all of this lot, the World Cup coming to the US was desperately needed, and I'll tell you my reasons as to why. There has been so much upheaval um, upset and a lot of sadness and a lot of feeling like we're the worst country in the world at times and all this lot. And having all of these different countries come here and celebrate not only their teams, you know, because we watched the Scots, let's be honest, the Scots could celebrate like no other. But we've seen also these countries celebrating us.
Right.
And I think, I honestly feel that we've needed it. It's been like the world's biggest sleepover. Do you know what I mean? With all these different countries and everybody just having a freaking good time. Remembering what sport was about and
Right.
why you play certain sports. And, you know, to me, it's just been, I think it's been wonderful. I really do.
Right.
Other people may not think so, but I think it's been great.
Yeah, it's like if you're used to like watching, soccer, then yeah, it should be like, interested.
But
So
but I'm not just saying that about people who are watching soccer. You go on TikTok and YouTube and stuff and look at the World Cup fans 2026. And
right.
you're seeing all of these fans doing, having a great time and celebrating. Like, some of the Scottish fans got together $10,000 for a children's in Boston.
Right.
You know, there was another country's fans donated food, totaling nearly 3 tons worth of food to that particular area's food pantry. You know, another country's fans all got together and paid for the adoption fees on all of these animals at the Humane Society in the area that they were
Right.
in. It's things like that, seeing people show the best of humanity. I'm not saying we don't see the worst of humanity during this time too, because there have been some, things that's like, really, come on now,
Yeah,
Um,
especially, people that don't know how to act.
right, right. And,
I get that.
it happens regardless, but to see so much good as all these friendships happening, you know what I mean,
Right.
is desperately what not just the US needed, but the world needed. We've been for years just plagued with hatred and,
Hey, Auntie.
you know, plagued with hatred and with people just so bitter and everything. But to see all these soccer fans come together and raise money for children's hospitals and raise food, do food drives for food pantries and pay
Right.
Humane Society's adoption fees and all that lot. It's been something that the US needed. They needed that spark to show them, hey, the world may be suffering with some of the worst political leaders, but as a
Mm-hmm.
human race, we're still together. We're still family,
Right.
And I mean, unfortunately, soccer brings out the worst in my mouth when I watch it. I can't help. Joe, you've witnessed that.
JG5RR, welcome to live.
You've witnessed that. You have witnessed me watching soccer and turn from this is great to you mother. What the hell are you doing? What the and losing my mind. And then afterwards, like, well, that was a really good game. Anyone want a cup of tea? I mean, I go from British to football hooligan to British with a cup of tea real quick.
Right.
But, I do agree that US versus Mexico would be a phenomenal final. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. But as I say, it's one of those things where we will see. And, do you know what? I've decided what I want for our son's birthday. I've decided.
What?
I want an England shirt with his name and birthday on the back.
Oh,
This is Maddie 14.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant for Robert.
Not that child. He could buy his own football jersey. For our child who lives in heaven.
But his birthday's coming up.
Yeah, we wants Call of Duty. So,
I
I
guess you're
mean, just
right.
because he's in the army and he thinks, oh, I can play better now. You better.
Oh my god. That's funny. And what happens if you eat 3 bags of hot Cheetos? Yeah, you be pooping like
If I eat three
something.
bags of hot Cheetos, it's actually a miracle because I can't get through one. But if I eat three of them, I'm probably going to end up with an ulcer and explosive diarrhea because I'm old. I'm just putting it out there.
You're not old. You're middle aged, just like me.
Do you know what? I'm old. True, I'm older than you. I'm going to be 52 in September. I am a grandmother. I'm old.
Nearly 3 months ago, I turned 45.
Oh
So,
no, you're still in your 40s. I'm staring like just stop. You a young buck still.
ooh,
Oh, shut up.
but I'm middle aged too. So, I thought that they count like as middle age, like the 40s and 50s, and I think 60s too, ain't it?
I don't know what you are in your 60s. I'll ask my mom.
She like, oh, I ain't sure. But yeah, anyways, so we're gonna talk a little bit of Milwaukee Development, and we also gonna talk about Buck stuff and these freaking pay-per-views. Oh wow, 4 of them within a matter of 24 hours. No, make that 48. Just the way it was. But yeah, this is like a new like the free agencies and stuff like that. It's just crazy. But like I said, we'll get into that. And congratulations to the Brewers. They did win today. Although they played the Reds tomorrow, but they won, the series against them at home.
Swear to God,
This
that
is
bit gets
laugh.
me every time. My favorite bit still is
Finally. And like just get all chopped up.
I apologise to those of you who are watching. I have turned back into a young person and wanted to watch Twilight and Sparkly Vampires. But only for the fight scene at the end of Breaking Dawn 2.
It was the best fight scene
It
from a
really was.
vampire movie. It was just like that conclusion is just like, what?
Uh-huh.
No.
You were Robert's face when we thought Carlisle had died.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oops.
Half mortal, half immortal, conceived and carried by this.
Okay. Because I did see all four of the PLEs or pay-per-views, whatever you want to call them.
You think they fooled me, brother?
See, let's just say that I found a way to watch them. So I'm just getting one thing set up, then we're gonna get the official needs started.
We've been
So
talking for 45 minutes. And you ain't even started
well,
properly.
actually 15.
It's been 45 minutes, I swear. I felt three
Oh,
grey hairs grow.
oh, probably before we started.
Probably.
That's probably what it is.
She's changed.
But
The child is bigger. And your allegations are the Cullens are innocent.
oh, sorry.
I take full responsibility for my mistake.
Like you said, yeah, we're gonna save the best for last for the Bucks. So let me just set this up first, and we're all actually are going to debut on Daily Motion. So this part was true, but just until she touched his face,
Oh.
then we know it changed.
Can I say that?
Okay.
If you attack now, I'll die.
He's right. Y'all will die. Oh, there we go. I can't believe it's still like the 1st of July, and
It's the first of
oh, okay,
July.
it is. Okay, we're gonna start. Hey everybody, for those who's watching pre-recorded YouTube, we're live on YouTube and also on my personal TikTok page and WFSO Radio Network on Facebook, and we are making our debut on Daily Motion. So this is another
Sounds
like
like a corner store. We'll get a good sandwich and a fizzy pop.
oh yeah, the Daily Motion,
Uh-huh.
the store that you can get in motion with.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Motion for the ocean.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
Everybody was cool though. Oh man, but anyway, so what we gonna talk about today? So for people that would be new to watching me on Daily Motion, hello, I am Artrell,
Are you? Are you?
and I am a co-owner and creator of Wrestling Fans Speak Out, and we got Hazel here that is the co-owner as well.
Yes, I am.
And she also runs Maddie's Memory, which she runs and everything, and I just assist with
You're here for
that.
the heavy lifting.
Yeah, basically the heavy lifting.
I even joke when I say that, people.
No, she's not. But we are a proud. Well, WFSO is a proud sponsor of Maddie's Memory, and I will let her talk about a little bit more about that before we get started.
Maddie's Memory is a non-profit that was started by myself and my wonderful husband here after the death of our son Matthew. Matthew was stillborn at 21 weeks, came into the world silently, sadly with no heartbeat, but the spitting image of his daddy. He had his daddy's little face and nose,
And
his daddy's hands and his big old feet. And was totally beautiful and perfect. However, he had 2 true knots in his cord, and his cord was wrapped around his neck twice, which is something that there was nothing we could do about it. So in October of that year, that was July 28th of 2012. So, he would be 14 this month. In October of that year, on Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Day, I started Maddie's Memory. We aimed just to help the hospital our son was born at, because they did not have much help and support for families like ours. So we started donating memory packs, bereavement support materials to them. And other hospitals heard, so we ended up donating to St. Joe's, St. Mary's, West Alice Memorial, Aurora Sinai, Children's, Florida. I mean, all the hospitals in Milwaukee County that had labor and delivery at the time. Over the years, it's grown significantly.
right about here.
Yep. Since that time, we have donated to over 1,000 hospitals across the country and worldwide. We have donated we've donated to every U.S. state. But we have also donated to Canada, Mexico, Argentina, England, France, Spain, Italy, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Greenland, Ireland. Oh my God, my mind's gone blank. I have to think. Costa Rica, Spain.
Lisa Charlton, welcome to the live.
And a few other countries in my mind. As I say, it's late. My mind has gone blank. But everything we do is run on donations. Sadly, due to the hatred of our former roommate and his girlfriend, my Facebook page and also my main TikTok page was shut down. They basically have me mass recorded. I do still have my website. I do still have a Facebook and TikTok page, and I'm having to start from scratch. We went from 25,000 followers and massive people who we helped, and now I'm down to 158. It was very, when I say disheartening, it's disheartening. But we will rise. It hasn't stopped what we do. We still donate everywhere. And we will keep donating everywhere. There is a need, whether we're public about it or not. We just sent out the letters to all the different buildings in southeast Wisconsin and across Wisconsin that have exterior lighting to ask them to turn pink and blue on October 15th. This will be, God, how many years have we turned Homebridge pink and blue? This is our 4th year, right?
I think so. Maybe 5th.
Well, we turn the Homebridge in Milwaukee pink and blue each year as well. And it's, just to tell you, this is absolutely the cutest thing ever. The other day we were driving our grandson around, because we do have a beautiful little boy who's our grandson. And he saw the home bridge and he pointed at it, he goes, "Look, Nana Bridge. That's Nana's bridge." And so that just, I know it just fills our heart, doesn't it? That he said
it does.
That.
It does.
But we do have a memorial garden as well, and the rocks around the memorial garden have the names of babies gone too soon and people gone too soon. And when I say babies gone too soon, 2 of AJ's cousins are on those rocks. Do you want to name your cousins and tell a little bit about your 2 cousins?
Oh God. So both of them were killed. Well, murder, if you want to call it, by it's just mainly, gang related stuff, and just it's just so dumb.
They were victims of it.
Yeah,
they were truly victims of it.
Right.
Talk about wrong place at the wrong freaking time. Let's call it what it is. And so, you want to tell them their names? They're your family members.
Yeah, it's Dominic, Roby, and Courtney A.G. So, yeah.
So their names are on there as well. Mine and AJ's grandparents' names are there as well, because for us, the guardians of our family are our ancestors.
Exactly.
And our grandparents meant more to me and AJ than we can even possibly put into words. Same with most people.
Right.
So their names are there. They're like the guardians of the garden. Sounds like a movie for you.
Yeah, it does.
Marvel, doesn't it?
Kim Fuller Grace, welcome to the live. Appreciate you checking us out.
So that's what we do. We host events. We just actually had our 4th annual garden party. And we changed it from the end of August to June because we thought it would be cooler, and it was. It was cold. So it was still great. We still had a good time. We also go to different community events like community baby showers, and the March of Dimes and all that lot, host tables where we have giveaways, and it's coming up for our back to school drive, where the money we would be spending on Matthew for his back to school items, we buy a bunch of school items and have literally, I think we normally equip 12 children, don't we? 12 to 25 children with back to school supplies. So that's the other thing that we do. So that's coming up. Our actual back to school event is, can't remember. It's in August. And that, as I say, giving back to us has become such a lifeline to us, and helped us navigate this whole grief process. We've been nominated for numerous awards. We haven't won, but the honor of being nominated is always there. We've had proclamations written for us, including the mayor nominating July 28th as Maddie's Memory Day, to which I cried. Yeah. I cried at that one. But it's important for us to be able to give back and help the lost community and be for them what we wish was for us when we were in this, our early stages. So there, I've said my piece now, and you can go on and be your fabulous self.
I like what the AI summary just come up with. Sharing the story of family's charity. Asks about back to school drive.
Please ask about our back to school drive and how you can help.
Well, you can always go to the website, maddysmemory.org.com. There's a QR code. If you want to donate to the cause, it doesn't matter how much you donate.
Oh, because when I tell you I could do fabulous, my husband here will attest to the fact I could do fabulous with very little.
Mm-hmm. Like, very fabulous if it was $1.
Oh yeah, I can make that work.
Yep. So it's like, she got you $1. Oh, she got it. You guys got to be quicker than that.
She's gonna be fabulous with that.
Well, yeah, that too. Okay, but anywho, so we're gonna talk about. Although I'm kind of going out of place, but let me kind of switch this. So we're gonna talk about get WWE out the way first. I'm not trying to look at what happened this past Tuesday because I didn't see it. So let's see where we can go back. Oh, the favorite part.
There we go. Absolutely love this part. You can tell he's just had enough of all the bullshit. He's like,
Yep, that is true. I apologize, you guys. Wait, where is it?
what?
Oh, okay. This is every time I had to click this like page to look for the arrow so I can like scroll down. Yeah. There we go. So we'll talk about the results of Night of Champions first. Since I did see every single one of these PLEs, I will like rate them and grade them. Normally I would just do it anyway just by reading the results, but I've seen them all, so this time I can just properly, rate them. So yeah, you got some people crying that, Sami Zayn did win the WWE Championship, which has to be the shocker of the night. But I don't have a problem with him winning, but I just hope they give him a proper run. That's all I care about. So first off, you got what kicked off and what was shown on ESPN was Obafemi and Jey Uso for the King of the Ring finals. And Obafemi, yep, this is the part like, huh? What just happened? But yeah, Obafemi did win the match, and it was a good match. I thought, they would have claimed that Oba had tapped. That's what people was like pointing to, but he was mainly just trying to motivate himself. But that's it. Not a bad match. And like I said, from him holding the crown that Saturday through what he did on Monday, just carrying the crown, not wearing it, I thought that was cool for him to do that. Yep. And Io Sky and Liv Morgan, and nothing personal, but I'm wondering like why are these two like in the finals anyway? Nothing against them, but it's like, of course you have the current women's world champion Liv Morgan, then you got Io Sky that won them both titles, both the WWE women's title and the world title. It's like, I guess you just want to push for like somebody like new to win it, but I guess. But the wife did love Io Sky's outfit. It was pink and blue, and
There was a couple of
I was gonna say there was a few more too.
Because what's her face had one with the butterfly, the pink one with
Tiffany
the butterfly
Stratton.
on the front.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton, but we will get to her match in a bit, but
It's Tiffy time.
but all in doubt, it was a good match too, and Io Sky is Queen of the Ring, and automatically right away after they interview her, she's going for Liv Morgan's World Women's title at SummerSlam. So that is confirmed, and of course, And I think the funny thing is you realize like when, this y'all probably can see it on the you know, it's this recording, but I know some of y'all live can't see it. But yeah, Liv Morgan was at there, Danhausen saying like, y'all, you took Judgment Day's money and blah 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 blah, and she slapped him and he cursed her, and I think that's where everybody knew that. Oh yeah, she's gonna lose, and she did. So it'll be interesting. Um, Brutal match, very brutal match. This one, Seth Rollins did beat Braun Breaker in the steel cage match. But yeah, very brutal. And you got like Braun Breaker like bleeding from his like up his upper eye is just, yeah, it was just something else. But we can move on from that. And you got the United States Championship match. Trick Williams did beat Ricky Saints. And Lil Yachty got a little bit into the fun. What they call him, the People's Elf Float or something like that. What he did. So if y'all don't know, Lil Yachty has been training. Just in case of things like this. And it's good, see like celebrities or music artists, you know, be dedicated to do what they do and just, be there when they can. So it's like this. I don't know why people was upset with like with Jelly Roll being in here, and yeah, he did what he did. So
Well, he needs to go away.
she got her own reason for not liking Jelly Roll, which I understand. And like, there's a lot of celebrities, they do one thing, or sometimes they come back and like do more. Stephen Amell, that played on Green Arrow, had a little feud with Cody when he was Stardust. So just a lot of those things it is excited to see, because we're not thinking like, oh, this celebrity is going to win the world title. If they like really dedicated like Logan Paul is, because he's kind of like a celebrity, but a YouTuber, and still showing up as much as he can. And yeah, I thought he would have been like in Money in the Bank match in October. Well, yeah, we know it was September, and now they moved it to October. I don't know why, but whatever. But then again, they took this place Sunday night's main event that they're doing. So Atlanta, ain't that always the way? But anyways, and y'all can probably see from this pre-recording that the suit right here, that's what this lady like, got the butterfly in the back and got a butterfly in the front from Tiffany Stratton. So of course Tiffany Stratton did retain her women's United States title against Jade Cargill. So yeah.
Should I start calling you Dad?
And you got Meechin and B-Fat try to interfere. Then you have, I think, was it Alexa Bliss that came to the rescue? Then you have Chelsea Green came to the rescue. Then no, it was Chelsea Green came to the rescue. Then Charlotte kind of like ruined Jay's plan. So that's gonna be like a match that's gonna happen at SummerSlam. Jay Cargill and Charlotte Flair. Just it'll be for the first time ever, and like something they can build a feud on. So it'll be interesting to see. Anyways, and yep, the main event. Sami Zayn did win, defeat Cody Rhodes and Gunther to win the WWE Championship. But although it got the most views that WWE has had in a long time, and you still got some people like wrestlers, like you have Hardcore Holly, like he'll be that type of guy that be picking up my bags. I'm like, dude, you haven't won the world title, and why are you talking? Val Venus is another one too. It's like, why? Because you jealous? It's like, you were in the Attitude Era. Your claim to fame was having the Intercontinental title and so-called having your PP cut off. And I think he did win the European title at one point. But point is, they didn't put you in the main card because they don't think you were a main star. Like, Your character was there was to give it, and plus with the Attitude Era, everybody was up. No matter like what kind of gimmick you were, but if you done something that people would have liked, they would went for it. But you're just not World Heavyweight Championship material, according to them. But that's what it seems like. And plus you got a guy that's been there for a while, do everything he can with WWE, so it's well deserved. And I just hope that Sami Zayn has a proper run. That's all I want. And crazy thing is, like all the good matches, all like the good well, it was six matches on here instead of the normal 5. So I would say my match of the night. God, I gotta really look back because yeah. Well, like for second place, I would say it'd be the tie between the men's King of the Ring finals and the steel cage match. So, but the match of the night and also the shocker of the night was the triple threat match. So I have to say that was the match of the night. And let's see, rating it and grading it. It was like over a 3 hour PLE. 6 matches, and yeah, it was good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grade it A minus. Almost there. Almost there. And they could just put 1 or 2 more matches. They will be up there. So A minus, and I will rate it 9 out of 10. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for this one, and A minus for this pay-per-view or PLE, wherever you want to call it. So we can move on from that, and we will talk about Great American Bash, which of course was in the Performance Center, which I don't know why they just didn't decide, travel it around. Like seriously, it's just one of those things you can't get over. It's like at least try to travel somewhere or like get some promotion. But the thing I didn't like is because they always have they mention it, like was it like a month or 2 months in advance, and normally it'll be a little bit earlier than that. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. That's just me. But let's see. Okay. Like I said, feel free if y'all wanted like a shout out. I'll just say hi on here and I'll give you a shout out.
I want to shout out.
Hazel Jones, you get a shout out.
Yay!
Hello.
So I'll probably go fall asleep about 5 minutes later. Oh, wrong remote.
That's just crazy. They just had 2 different versions of Victoria, but what they said, the other one the first one wasn't getting paid enough or something like that?
No, scheduling conflict.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. You kind of hate when that happens sometimes.
Now we have to go down and find a movie that relaxes me. Michael Myers, where are you?
Are you going to do the Evil Dies Tonight?
I don't know if I should Evil Dice Tonight it or make it the end.
Oh, God. That's a tough choice. That is really a tough choice.
That is a tough choice.
Well, wherever you decide, it would be good either way.
You know what? Ends. However, I gotta find it.
Might have to go. Oh, yep, there it is. But anyway, guys, so we'll get to Great American Bash, and I'm glad they kind of did it like televised, like local televised. So we think it was going to get like ratings, but like according to some sources, but then again, wherever. it did lower than all the other pay-per-views that day, which was on this past Sunday. But I think it was kind of like a time frame because it was going on between towards the end of TNA Slammiversary and the beginning of AEW's Forbidden Door. Which people ain't gonna miss out. A collaboration with AEW, Stardom, CMLL, which they do own, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I can understand that, but I'm glad it was worth it for them to show it on national television. So it's good. Of course you see Tony D'Angelo end up defeating Nakarku. Sorry, I will get it right at some point.
But today won't be that day.
It seems like it won't be that day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, for those that seen it, kind of like pound for pound match. I would just say that, and yeah, he's still wearing the eye patch from that fireball attack that Lukaku had done.
Fireball. Here, you put that over there, put it on to charge when you're done. Oh yeah, you've got your wedding ring. Just noticed.
Yep, I did. Sorry,
Oh.
I did went back. I did went to work. It was still there as was put it at, but I think they just squished it all together just to make sure like it wasn't moved. So, like finally. Oh god, I am silly. But anyways, you got the women's North America Championship. I kind of figured, but I think the thing that kind of threw me off was the outfit that Tatum Paxley was wearing. I was like, she haven't worn something like that, but I guess she just wanted to be different. But anyways, yes, Zarya did retain the women North American the title. Sorry, but yeah, um, back and forth, so it was great. This match, Charlotte Hill versus Tristan Angels. Although Charlotte Hill did win, it was like one of those matches. It was just okay, but perfect layman. Welcome to the live. I appreciate it.
Fabulous name. Absolutely fabulous.
I wonder if you ever talk to women and give them that line. I'm the perfect layman.
I mean, that's just fucking fabulous.
Yeah. Anyways, this match was okay. Maybe it may end it a little bit too quick for my liking, but it was okay. Probably because the way it ended.
My hip,
Cause
Lord have mercy.
you okay?
Yep, and I got a piece of chip stuck to my ass. God damn it. Don't eat chips in bed, people. Wake up with a barbecue chip stuck to your buttocks.
I think someone will eat chips anyway, then like fall asleep while they was eating them, then suddenly get up in the morning like, well, I got chips in my butt. Just crazy. But anyways, I was wrong about this match. Like I said, it was a speed championship from either side. It was just the women's one that was defended, not the men's. Because they did do the tournament for the women's to face the speed champion. So Win Sinclair defends it against Ariana Grace, who just come off a few weeks ago losing the TNA Knockouts title. Ooh. Speaking of butts, what is this? Oh, let her in. Then I'm getting attacked from behind. But anyways, yeah, it was good for what it was, and I thought Ariana Grace, come back from her knockouts title and finally lose it, and I thought she was going to actually win it, but nope, because Win Sinclair was recovering from an ankle injury, and I guess she wasn't out as long as people thought, so she was ready to compete, and there you go. Chaguta, sorry if I got your name wrong. Welcome to the live. Appreciate it. I think I'll read that message later. So maybe it's that message that they sent. So for you guys that so watching on TikTok, like I said, give away a autograph for Bush Racker Luke. If you want to win another one, we can get this up to 500 likes, and I will give away another one. So one will be given away after the show. As soon as I see like somebody's email, just say like one wrestling word, then it will send, and we'll type all the information and stuff like that. And Nan, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. But anyways, but yeah, like I said, it was a decent match. This one, of course, it was more personal, but then again, you had dark side interference, so it's like, who gonna have Shaquan Sugar back? So yeah, although he won the match, but Dark State kind of won the war at that point. So it's like gonna be what's next for Shaquan, like who he's gonna get as his backup and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. And I know I still gotta watch NXT that happened yesterday, and hopefully I get that chance eventually. Um, I'm kind of like conflicted with this match being that match of the night, and I think it was another match I thought would be match of the night too. But so I will have to pick that in a bit. But Miles Bourne did defeat Terrion Heights to retain the North American champion. But still, it was still pretty awesome match. And yeah, this one too. So this one was a shocker as well, because I thought Lola Vice was going to retain, but no. Kendall Gray ended up winning it, and the outfit she was wearing was a representative of Kurt Angle's outfit. I don't know if it was a certain WrestleMania or something like that, but it was one of the Kurt Angle's outfits that he was wearing. Diane Thomas 951, welcome to the live. Hopefully, guys, we can get some at least up to 500 likes on my TikTok page, and like I said, we will do another giveaway with the one that we're doing now. So, please push it along. But yeah, it was pull all the stops and things like that. So, although now Kendall Gray and Win Sinclair, now they're both champions. One with the speed and one now with the NXT Women's title. So I guess it's a good way to end either way. So it was both a good fight. Let's see, yeah, because I'm still conflicted with these two matches for match of the night. Oh my god. You know what? It'll be a tie. I'll just leave it. I'll just give it a tie. So the two main events that happen are match of the night. So we'll just say that. Rating and degrading it. 7 matches in a little bit over 3 hours. So that's impressive. Just let me double check. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches in a matter of 3 hours. So Shawn Michaels knows what he's doing. Just put it that way. So this is gonna get a better rating than the Night of Champions. Like I said, with the amount of matches, you can get quality and quantity, and they act like that it can't be done. But oh god. I said, as soon as he would have saw that, I would have hurried up down there and be like, it was an accident. It was an accident.
Okay.
I have shared 7. Welcome to the live. I appreciate you checking. Like I said, hopefully guys come on, give me 500 likes on TikTok. Like I said, do another giveaway and explain about that in a bit. Even share the content too. Let people know what I'm doing. Like, of course, not just talk about my normal life and things like that. I do wrestling fan speak out stuff and talk about wrestling. We talk about Milwaukee Bucks. We talk about Milwaukee Development, and we also talk about comic book movies and TV news. So, like I said, we're gonna save that one for another day. Let's see. All matches were great, and like I said, it's gonna be a little bit higher than Night of Champions. So, like I said, although everything in this special was correct and was right, um, I'm gonna give it a solid A, very close to A plus, very close. And of course, I'm gonna give this one 10 out of 10. So, ooh, excuse me. I think I gave their last PLE, which I think was Stand and Deliver, a 10 out of 10 too. I believe I could be wrong, but yeah, 10 out of 10 and very solid A. Okay, so enough of that, and we will go to TNA Slammiversary. We'll talk about the results of that, and yeah, how you have a guy that came like a heel, then a face, and then a heel again? Just weird, but we'll talk about that later. And there is more drama in TNA as well, so we will get to that in a bit. Um, anyways, the countdown to Slammiversary. Hidney Hartwell, Mara Say, and Elena Black, and you have Elena Black. Well, it was known. But anyway, so she did win, and I'm gonna hurry this up because of this. So, anyways, another countdown to Slammiversary match: Eric Young and Ricky Sosa. So apparently, this was Eric Young's last match because, as Mount announced today, that he is gone from TNA. They granted him his release, and he's gone. And crazy enough, WWE is interested in having him maybe be like, a coach or something, whatever's going on, but I don't know. But the thing is, like, in NXT, what he was doing with his group was good, but when they called him up to the main roster, is like they act like they didn't know what to do with him. So it was just stupid. So I don't know. We'll see. Alberto, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. Thank you for checking. Well, and chatting as well. So, like I said, anybody on any platform, wherever you're on, if you want us to give you a shout out, just say it on the live. Just say, like Alberto did, say hi. And like here on YouTube, you know, just say hi. Even on Facebook Live, just say hi.
Hi.
I think you have enough acknowledgement already. Uh, so I know you
I'm
like.
attention for. I want my space.
She like acknowledge me.
Yes, acknowledge me.
So Ricky Sosa did beat Eric Gunn. Okay, now we're going to the main card, which was. I know some people may agree with me with this, but the Ultimate X was the match of the night. It was just everywhere. And especially the ending was just so funny that, it was like Leon Slater was going to get down from the ropes and about to land, and he would have been the X Division champion. But out of nowhere, Cedric Alexander just took the belt and just ran with it. So Cedric Alexander did retain, and I thought it was so funny. And after the match, Kazarian did, talk to Amazing Red, which he made his return. And it was the good news, though. Amazing Red is inducted to TNA's Hall of Fame. Which, they'll do it, I think it's the night before Bound for Glory. But, yeah, it's that cool. Okay, so just hold on a second here. There we go. AJ Francis and Elijah, it was just crazy, kind of like brutal. It's just everything like you just wanting a match a little bit, but yeah. Well, AJ Francis kind of proved that he can move for a big man. But yeah, Elijah did win, finally beat AJ Francis after a few attempts to fight him, and so good for Elijah, and hopefully he's moving on to bigger and better things, maybe a world title. Anyways, of course the tag team match that was good too. The elegance, the elegance brand. Um, sorry. Elegance brand. Defending against Rosemary and Alley. This was kind of crazy as it comes too, and yeah, Demon X Bunny as they call themselves, Rosemary and Alley. They are the new Knockouts tag champs. So congratulations to them. The open challenge for Mustafa Ali's TNA International title ended up being it ended up being a triple threat match. Don't you believe? I thought it'd be a 1-on-1, and I know, like I said, we had the rumors and having Apollo Cruz, which now he going by his original wrestling name of Uha Nation. So he made his DNA debut, and Rick Flawn, of course, the other person. So it ended up being a triple threat match, and it was kind of creative. Especially, out of the beginning, Uha Nation ended up, just lifting Mustafa Ali and just like threw him out of the ring. Kind of show you like his strength is, and hopefully, he get a better, treatment in TNA than he did in WWE. Don't get me wrong, they put him like in the big cards and like, he wins the IC title and also win the United States title. But why he wasn't like put in, into the world title picture, I don't know. But yeah, Mustafa Ali did retain after all that. Um, yeah, this would be match of the night number 2 if I would have had to choose. But Eddie Edwards and Moose, with JDC in Moose's corner, then Alyssa Edwards on Eddie's corner. Yeah, I think Moose's wife and son was out. Yeah, they were out there too, I believe. Um, Let me see. They explain more about that because I'm trying to read. Okay, no, that's just that. But yeah, they got involved. It's like everybody was getting involved, and I thought after the match was funny too. But yeah, although it looked like it was saying it was like a regular match, but it was no surrender match. So I guess the only way to win is if the person throws a towel in. So that's how Moose ended up winning the match anyway. So she threw in the towel, and afterwards, Jay, what I call, I can't. Oh, JDC ended up, stunning Eddie Edwards, and Moose speared both Alicia and Eddie through the table for the troubles. So yeah. So yeah, let me just see. Yeah, I know that was his son, but I was thinking, yeah, and I think that had to be his wife too. So yeah. Um, but yeah, it was cool, good match. And if this is very very it for JCC's career, then to be involved and stuff like that. So what a way to end it. Um, Another good potential match. Leading Lee versus Zaya Brookside. Hey Matt. Welcome to the live. I appreciate you checking. Um,
Don't know who that is, do you?
oh, never mind. I know who it
It
is.
wouldn't let me put Maddie, and
uh,
I've got to wait 7 days before I can change it.
okay. Avery with a whole bunch of signals. Welcome to the live. Appreciate it. Um, let's see. Like I said, the Knockouts championship match. So I was wrong about this match, but I'm kind of happy I was wrong as well. So no big deal. So it's just towards the end. Zara Brookside used her tricks and cheats and end up being for the first time ever a women's champion. So for the first time, Zaya Brookside is the Knockouts champion. So, and it's probably gonna end up being a rematch. So, not worry about that. Of course, on August 23rd, they do have Lockdown, which will be in Chicago. A friend of mine do want to go to that, and I guess he wanted to see, the White Sox game, then see this afterwards. So yeah, all be going on in one day, and just waiting on him to see when he wants to get the tickets or whatever. Um,
First time hearing about it.
I know because it was still a question mark because he didn't tell me when he wanted to buy the tickets or wherever what case is going on.
Mm-hmm. Double meaning that's what you could eat.
It's, it
Say it
was,
not, and I'm dramatic, okay? Let me be.
and they didn't mention anything about either. I think emerge. Are they having emergence next this month? I'm not sure, but they having some this month. In September, they didn't mention like what they're gonna have either. So just wait and see. But they are bringing back Destination X for the first time in they say like 10, 15 years or something like that. But yeah, it'll be Sunday, November 15th. It'll be in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So, Canada always get at least one pay per view from TNA in a year. So every year. So good for them. I was wrong about this match too, but it ended up being very good too. You got the System defending the tag titles against the Hardys, against the Righteous, and the Great Hands. And I think I'm going to talk about more, what they, try to do something different with the ladders and things like that. And of course, although they were the Broken Hardys, but, they never changed who they are as, when it comes to, wrestling. Always good to entertain. And they won the titles back. And I thought, that ladder with like barbed wire and it looked like it's like pedals and stuff like around it. It was different, but hey, it was useful. Just put it that way. But like we said, Hardy's is now, I think they're 4-time TNA tag champs now. But let's just say multi-time. Let's just say that. Let's see, emotional. Okay, emotional message. Santana have revealed that Conan will be inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame too this October. And Bound for Glory will be in, yeah, I think in Tampa, I believe. Then now you had the main event, Mike Santana versus Nick Nemeth. Yeah, the story for all weeks. Nick Nemeth was saying he's a man of his word. He's gonna, turn in his trophy in for him to get his title shot. So I guess wherever the case may be, and yeah, you got Ryan Nemeth trying to interfere too, and we were thinking it was just him being there, but yeah, it was all set up by Ryan and Nick. Yeah, kind of sucks, but what more can you do? So Nick Nemeth for the second time is the TNA World Champion. So Mike Santana lost it for the second time, you might as well say, and yeah, he got an okay run with his second one. The first one he didn't really get that much of a run because I think he lost it when Kazarian uh used his call your shot trophy to cash in on him at Bound for Glory last year. So just like so it's like at the time, you can understand like why, they end up putting the belt on Nick Nemeth because Mike Santana's contract is gonna expire and we don't know if they're gonna resign him. So yeah, we don't know what's going on. And plus, it seems like TNA is like in trouble. Especially, when it comes to them like money wise and things like that. And try to afford wrestlers or try to pay them higher just to keep them. So kind of sucks. So rating and grading. So I already told y'all that the very first match was the match of the night for me. Let's see, one. Trying to get this right. Two, three. Let's see, four, five, of course. Six, seven, seven, and eight. So you had two matches in the pre-show. Then you got eight matches. It was about 3 hours for that match. And well, I tell you, that's how you run the show. That's how you run the show. But I'm still gonna rate and grade it. But it's just a little bit iffy. I'm gonna grade it like an A minus. But the rating I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Like I said, there's little things that was missing up there, so 8 out of 10, and I will rate, like I said, I'll give it like an A minus. But the people they name in the Hall of Fame, which was pretty good, and what the way kick-started, the road to Bound for Glory, if you want to call it that. You thinking Slammiversary would be their WrestleMania type, but no, it's Bound for Glory. But I am proud to say that I did at least went to one of them. But I guess move on from there, and we get to I wouldn't say the best for last, but we are gonna talk about them because, like I said, I watch them all, and I did see all this. Although some of the outcomes on some of the matches I did not like, some returns was made, which was pretty cool, and all that good stuff. I didn't know who won because I know by Mark Briscoe winning his team winning that match against MJF and Don Callis' team that I know it's probably already happened, but I didn't see it yet. But Mark Briscoe and MJF going at it for the title. So I don't know if MJF retained or we got a new AEW champ. So that I don't know. I'm probably gonna watch it in the morning. But anyways, I think they had a Okay, so we're just gonna read the results from here. So it's just better to do it that way, not just trying to scroll it like bit by bit. So it was three buy-in matches. An hour before the show, the main card. Unbound defeated Gorilla Mahoney. Defeated Death Riders Daniel Garcia. Um, Another qualifying match for the TBS Championship, Survivor of the Fittest. You got Malika beating Triangle of Madness, Sky Blue, which is kind of crazy. You thought like Sky Blue would have been in. Then you have, I don't know why they don't put this in the main card, but the AEW Women's Tag Champions, Diamond Divine Dynamo, Lena Cross, and of course, when Megan Bain defeated Thunder Rose in Olympia. Then now you get into the main card, which was a first three-way tag with Young Bucks versus Unbound and versus the L Sky Team, which there are CMLL World Trios Champions and also ROH World Tag Team Champs, Mystico and Nascara. Doria, sorry. Didn't finish the whole thing. But like I said, it was a good match, and it's like you're thinking, you'll see the pattern in a minute while I explain it. So, anyways, Young Bucks did win. Now to Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre, was another good match. But Kenny Omega did win that one, and you kind of see a trend. Although AEW and New Japan have a combination show with Forbidden Door, it just seems like AEW was winning with these collaboration shows. Except for but we'll get to the other part in a bit. So you have the AEW Continental Championship match. You got Jon Moxley. He did beat Bandino. Decent match. they did show each other respect after the match, so that was pretty cool. Okay, where was I? Oh, sorry, IWTV Global Heavyweight Championship match. Shimada Una actually did defeat Pac to retain. I guess that's something, but still not like anything like big deal. Of course, you see Tekla did retain the women's AEW women's title against Starlight Kid, and she's still, they still doing the storyline like her going against Stardom, was the company she was at before she signed with AEW. So and AEW had partnerships, with of course them running CMLL, when you might have said now they own them, and we're always working with New Japan Pro Wrestling and also Stardom. So yeah. Um. Anyways, their first tag title defense, Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. They did beat the Dogs, Clark Connors and David Finlay. If y'all know who David Finlay is, that's Fit Finlay's son. And plus, Finlay has another song in WWE and NXT part. Um, but yeah, kind of like a revenge thing for Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. So first hour defense, they successful. So kudos to them. And yeah, this match, got a taste in my mouth. You thinking like, why? So for the second consecutive year, Mercedes Monet won the Orin Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. She defeated, might as say, kind of like a pupil and an up and comer, Maya World. Which I don't know. It's just some things you're seeing, like AEW is kind of carrying, some of WWE's traits that why this person for the second time, and plus she won it last year. She fell at again the time at get the title against Tony Storm, and just like what? I don't know. I'm not happy about it, but she gets her title shot at All In, and which will be in August. But whatever. Athena reacts to Moy's win over. Who cares? Um, so I guess this was a semi-main event. I thought it was more matches than this, but with AEW, they go over the moon with matches. Start from 7 and it'll end like sometime 11. Just crazy. But anyways, like I just mentioned, Team Briscoe, the trios champion, the congregation, Kenosha Tashika, Darby Allin, and Mark Briscoe, they did win against TDCMJF. I think, I believe I was correct on this. Mark Briscoe did pin MJF, so yeah, should be something. So you thinking they, but then again, the AEW World Championship wasn't defended. So, anyways, so on Heart Foundation Men's Tournament Final, you got Will Ospreay. He never won, the main title in WWE, but they had the, I believe at the one point international title where he was feuding with MJF for the belt. Him against Swerve Strickland, former AEW champion, had like a very good reign, and some few storylines with him and Heyman Adam Page was very good too. But it's just some. Well, it's like this. Will Ospreay is a very, very good athlete, but I'm sorry, it just sucks that he's talking about WWE like, oh, I would never go there and stuff like that. A lot of wrestlers say that and end up going there anyway. So just take that to a grain of salt. That's just my opinion. Just take it to a grain of salt. But some of the moves he did in that ring was like very, very awesome. And Swerve Strickland, being brutal as he was all bloody up. So yeah, it is something. But Will Ospreay, I'm glad he did win it, the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament. But with Squirt Strickland, I was hoping he wouldn't. But if he did, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I'm glad Will Ospreay wins and he gets his title shot at All In. So in, interesting. So I am gonna rate it and grade it because, like I said, I did see them all. I'm not, gonna look at the story and that. So doing this and reading and thinking like what happened and all that stuff, just kind of like went in my favor. But anyways, so as you can tell, let's see, they had 10 matches in a 4 hour span. It's okay, but I'm glad they're gonna do it with this next pay-per-view they're gonna have the end of the month. I forgot what it's called. So they decided they're gonna start the show. It would be 7 p.m. Eastern at 6 p.m. Central. So they kind of doing like the WWE route, like kind of start a little bit early. And I think it's better because what if you're gonna be at a place where you got no choice but to you had to end it at a certain time because the incident they had a double or nothing because the show ended at midnight and that one train didn't run after a certain time. So just like, what can you do? And now I hated that some people were so like defensive on AEW is like they could have worked out with the city and stuff to get that situated months before this was planned. And it just sucks, people just can't take accountability on what AEW screw ups and things like that. It's just like, really. But anyways, let's see. I may give this a little bit lower rating because a few matches, I didn't like the outcome, especially the Owen Hart women's one. So, excuse me. But anyways, let's see, I will grade it. Maybe I'll give it a solid B. Solid B, because I'm not fair, but like I said, there are a few outcomes that happen in certain matches is just like no. So that's how it feels. So I'll give it a B, and I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. So just to be fair, 7 out of 10, and in a solid B. So I know probably some of you hardcore AEW fans will grade it higher than that, saying that's the best thing ever, but every time it seems like when AEW puts on a pay-per-view, y'all think it's the best ever. It just, I already did a video, what my issues were with AEW, and like, I have issues with any wrestling company if I think they've done some things wrong. I'm hypocritical with WWE too. So it's not just, AEW and stuff like that. TNA, the same thing. You probably saw them when I was talking about them before this. But anyway, like I said, 8 out of 10 and a solid B. So, anyways, that's enough wrestling for today, and we're gonna get to some Milwaukee Development. So, this I didn't get to talk about that much in weeks. So, it seems like a downtown. Okay, the downtown hotel will open luxury conversation of the 1920 auto. Okay. Okay, let's just read. Yes, the Adams Hotel. That's been talked about for like years now, and they was on construction on it for like years. Let's see, 790 North Jackson Street, so it's in downtown. So another place people want to stay at. So that's good. Um, of course, it was first proposed in 2020. Of course, like 4-story building, look over the Cathedral Square Park. Um, Development had reached substantial completion in, oh wow, May 2021, but They didn't open it. Okay, but the lawsuit between Van Buren and the ejected property owner Northwestern Mutual, which is, local insurance here, um, over the lease of a surface parking lot delayed the project. Oh, okay. Parking lot. So that's probably what was taking so long. The suit was settled early 2024 with Northwestern Mutual selling the lot 795 North Van Buren to Van Buren for 1.28 million. Okay, so Northwestern Mutual in turn purchased Van Buren's own office building, 732 North Jackson Street for 2.2 million. Let's see. State business records and hotel operators Scrani, sorry if I said it wrong. Hospitality is led by former Marcus Corp executive and Visit Milwaukee CEO Paul Upchurch. 2020 plan shows the two first floor restaurants, 11 guest rooms, second floor and the top two floors remain unused pending on future phase. So it was designed by Rinka ADK. Um, let's see. It was an old building, was constructed in 1920, served as a car dealership. Didn't even know that. The Jackson Street building was remodeled in 1959 to a general office building, then again in 1982, when a now demolished two-story addition was added. The Whiskey Bar, which closed in 2019, was the last tenant in the building. So, okay, so they didn't get the chance of the parking. So they didn't say it was like there's a completely open. So it really just doesn't explain anything for those who's watching and pre-recording, guys like that's listening live. Um, like it looks, it's not bad looking the way they made it, but then they only had like a few construction photos. So from what it seems like, they might finish it in the fall. That's just my guess. Because it looked like exactly what it's supposed to look on the photos, but so probably sometime this year they probably gonna open it. Um, but just wait and see. Any like Milwaukee news and stuff like that, check out urbanmilwaukee.com. I think there was a few more things I want to check out, but I don't want to go too far into it because I know later on we still got Milwaukee Bucks stuff to talk about. Allison Powers and user 52763164535. Welcome to the live. Sorry I missed y'all. So saying it now. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, probably something Bucks related we'll get into before we get into anything else. Um, there's a few more things that was on here too. So I think it was something about apartments that it was gonna do. Let's see. Like I said, I don't want to go too far, and I think it started from just trying to make sure I didn't go too far. Let's see. Okay, the signature combo tower plan for downtown Milwaukee. So although we're kind of going back on this, but it's just something that interesting you want to read. 711 East Kilbourne. So that's the plan. So 25-story, 226 units. Okay. So I'm glad downtown. They're making like more like housing units for people and want to like fill up a lot of people living in downtown. But at the same time, you're gonna need some hotels as well. So I don't know why they doing that. But anyway, it's a vacant lot across New Lands record setting Instant Mass Timber Apartment Tower. Okay. Of course, not that far from there. Okay, luxury building, no question about it. Okay, one bedroom units will range from 4,000, four, no, sorry, 458,000 to 665,000. Two bedroom units will range from 772,000 to 1.2 million. I was expecting they had like million. It ain't even an argument. Like it's like they expecting millionaires like to always live in there. Anyways, so then the penthouse units will have 1,997 square feet to 3,676 square feet, which will range from 1.8 million to 3 million. That's crazy. No, I ain't gonna never be that rich trying to like own like a freaking penthouse. But anyways, let's see. Indoor outdoor pool, atop the parking podium, a sauna. That's the like temperature thing you just get to sit in like y'all get it. An outdoor terrace with fire pits, a rooftop deck, a pet spa, which you know we need for our pets, a golf simulator, and a two-story fitness center. Sorry, building staff will always be on site, which is a good thing. Okay, so they're looking to pre-sell 50% of its units before breaking ground in 2027. Okay, because they probably was hoping they'll get the money, and that'll probably be enough, to cover some of the stuff. It depends on. They didn't say how much all that was going to cost. No, they didn't. Okay. New land in 2022. Then, hey, Jace. Oh, stop. I'm sorry. See, new land in 2022 sought to develop a small food truck park on site, but those plans were never progressed after the license was initially requested. A zoning modification was made last year. So, the last condo plan received zoning approval. 15 at Park East called for 15 large townhouses north of downtown was approved 2024 and canceled last year. And yeah, so it seems like next year they're gonna start like breaking grounds of it. So okay, so probably show you guys that's watching pre-recorded, and if you guys ever want to see the pre-recorded episode, just go on YouTube. It'll be on maybe like 30 minutes after this is over. Let's see. Not that bad on like their fitness center, and it's mainly like lounging area. This seems like that's what it is. Let's see.
Look at the size of this. Oh my gosh.
Let's see. Netherlands and sorry, I'm just going through and just looking. So because we got some of these other like apartments and all that stuff, so just cool. So that's the area where they gonna start it at. So if they're gonna start it in 2027, so if they're gonna start it next year, I'll say they'll probably be done no later than early 2029, or it could be late 2029. Yeah, late 2029, early 2030 at the latest that they would be finished with this, in my opinion. And I appreciate you guys like still hanging in with us. Like I said, like in a little bit we will talk about Buck stuff. With the moves they made, talk about it, and go from there. Let's see. I think there's two more things that we gotta talk about in here, or it could be one more thing. But let me just double check. Not gonna go too far. advanced partial funding for delayed Bayview affordable housing development. I wouldn't trust that much, with housing development because it's affordable housing because you got to make a certain amount, and it's not even like for the so-called low income, which is not a fact. Like seriously, I don't know. I'm just starting to think, these low income houses is not really a great idea because, especially people that they don't give it to that in that level of, with the, that level of, not getting that big of an income. Okay, so it was, let's see, condo tower will provide millions for city service. I think it is that same building we probably was just talking about, I believe. Yes, it is. Okay, so we don't need to go. Let me just scroll through it right quick. Maybe it'll say more about it. Zamian approved last year. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Um, held by probably great reception and collapse of previous proposal known as the bookends. That plan approval in '08, but 19-story apartment. Oh God, that would have been huge. Of course, huge in tax, tax increase. Of course, with the pandemic and stuff like that. So, yep, it will start construction next year, but just didn't say when it's supposed to finish. So it's like we said everything like it was gonna say, but they just never said when it's gonna be completed. The city share would be 1.45 million annually, while MPS would receive approximately 1.84 billion. Hmm. Yeah, that's just kind of weird. This is one of those things you're just not gonna question. So
I was just falling asleep.
yeah, no, and I just saw him looking through the door like, hey, Jace. So yeah. So like I said, although they ain't got an official date when they're gonna be completed this, but I would, like I said, no later than late 2029, early 2030 for this. Okay, so that's that, and now we can go to one more thing before we move on to the Milwaukee Bucks. So, like I said, don't want to talk about that one. Okay, we'll probably will save that one for later. Missed that one. Where is it? Um, of course, Malik Beasley. This is like a little bit of a Bucks talk. He got arrested because he was gambling and throwing games, especially the season that he was with the Bucks and the season after that with the Timberwolves. I think he did it in Detroit too. So it was no, not Timberwolves, but with Detroit and Milwaukee. So oh god, it's not cool. Um, School fire. No, no. Late night coffee house playing in Harborview neighborhood. Huh? It'd be good to have some late night coffee stores. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, so oh yeah, this was the one. Sorry, this was the one I wanted to talk about. So this project that they had, nearby, that river in downtown, was at Holt. It was at Holt since last summer, and I guess they're saying that it could get a new owner that would like fund the project. So okay, Milwaukee County Service Court Judge Glenn Mahario entered a default judgment on Monday in favor of The general contractor C.D. Smith advancing the company's effort to foreclose on the downtown development and recovered more than 11 million in unpaid construction costs. The rule settled stays on property on 1005 North Edison. That's like right next to the Market Center Theater. Which they host plays and stuff like that. Performers Arts Center. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So it contains partially completed and was planned for a 31-story, 353 unit tower. After walking off the job site, it was September. C.D. Smith filed a lawsuit in March against developers neutral as project affiliates. Founder Lab-based contractor allegates they performed approximately 13.67 million in work and was paid only 2.37 million, leaving a balance of approximately 11.3 million, not including interest and attorney fees. So so it seems like the person was just all talk mainly with some money. He did not file a legally valid response to the complaint within the deadline established under state law. So of course they had a hearing this past Monday. Let's see. So C.D. Smith gained control of the site. The construction company could sell it to another developer to pursue an alternate resolution for a stalled project. The rolling march is the latest setback from development that was once built as a landmark addition to Milwaukee skyline, which is true, and plus, like across from it, for them, the Performance Center Arts parking lot was going to be used for like another development. So of course, it started spring of last year, and it's approximately $205 million project. So it was September they stopped working, and yeah, the project was facing funding gap of approximately 25 million. So and ended up growing more to at least 230 million. Let's see. Dispute part of more 14 million claims filed by contractors. This past April they're talking to the Common Council. So as in April 2025, agreed to subsidize workforce housing developments. They could reopen the case, but it would need to retain an attorney to persuade the court to set aside the default judgment. It's just saying like it could, but it didn't say like. So yeah, of course, mainly, we just have to wait and see what's going on. Maybe who's gonna be into that other project and like from the parking lot development thing, maybe they can take that over. Probably more than what they chewed on, but maybe that'll work. But anyways, so now we going into the main event, the final of the hour, and also the cream of the crop, if you want to call it, the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, guys, of course, the big news all over the world, the day of, the NBA draft, Giannis did get traded, and Bobby Portis did get traded to Miami for a whole bunch of pieces that they did not need, and now they're in the world of trouble. So I will explain that more in a bit. So they did do some free agent moves. So what we're gonna do here is, let's see. We already know Gary Trent Jr. is out. Well, he opted out. You got some players that, according to media, they were surprised that they opt in, which I hate reading Sports Illustrated for Milwaukee. It's just like so ridiculous. I hate sports media. But anyway, so let's see. Of course, the acquisition. Tyler Hero. They was Bucks thinking they should trade him, but you can't trade somebody that's from here. And it's like I think they made that mistake before. Um, let's see. Of course, they're thinking Miles Turner and Kyle Kuzma try to trade. Like trade for what though? So according to Sports Illustrated, this should be the starting five. You got Ryan Rollins, Brandon Burries, Tyler Hero, Jamie Jacquez Jr., and Miles Turner. Really? But second unit, of course, you got Kevin Porter Jr. Would be a very good six man. Not gonna lie. You got AJ Green, Nate Emmett, the rookie. You got Kyle Kuzma and Keller Ware. So you got the third string. So this is where it's gonna get a little bit tricky. So you got Caparis, Jakunis, Gary Harris, which he did opt in, Torrey Prince, which he did opt in, Pete Nance, of course, they signed for this coming season as well, and Jericho Sims, who also opted in to stay with the Bucks. But here's the problem: you got 7 guards on the roster. And that's why I was funny about them making the draft pick, Baden Burns. Nothing against them, but it's like they had too many guards already. And it seems like, and plus, they apparently they had like a handshake agreement with Gary Trent that they was gonna bring him back into Milwaukee, but it's like one of those things. I don't know how you're gonna pull it off. And also, you just signed Dang, you decided not to give him the qualifying offer, but you did re-sign him to a 3-year, I believe it's $12 million contract, which the third year he got a player option. As for Bojoja Markovic, the guy we was hyping all about last year, is signed with the Bucks today. I believe it was 4 years, 9.3 million. With his fourth year will be in that player option, and they was able to sign him to that type of contract because he was drafted in the second round, and with the second round, you know you can sign him to like a cheaper deal, or you can sign him into like a two-way contract. So I'm kind of glad they didn't go that route. So sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how the Bucks are gonna like piece this in together. So yeah, it's really tricky, and I don't know what the narrative of people pushing that the Bucks should get Jonathan Kuminga. We're good on forward. We just need to get rid of a few guards, or because now you got 17 players on contract, and you got to cut at least 2 of them by the start of the season. So it's just insane. It's just like how are they gonna do this? Of course, you're gonna have your 3 players. You're gonna have Bozo, Braden, and Nate. They're gonna end up playing in the summer league. Oh yeah, and I forget the other rookie name they got. Jakunis. He's gonna be playing in the summer league team, and I don't know what other players that they're gonna use. Maybe the other one they got for their 60th pick. Um, Rafael Castro, another person they signed the two-way. Maybe they'll probably will do that to him, but yeah, at least you got some of the players working out and stuff like that too. So that's always cool. Let's see, the Mavericks, I'm told, are expected to secure former Pelicans coach Willie Grant as top assistant for Okay. So, guys, we are going to click through Twitter. Well, they call it X. But we are also actually going to look at let's see. Yeah, like they're saying this BS here. Like the Milwaukee Bucks are a potential destination for Jonathan Kuminga. So if you're gonna get a wrong guy, if you get rid of like maybe like 2, 3 players, then by all means, just I wouldn't even know who they would want to get rid of though, because like all of them will be a keeper. It's like we're not like in the win now mode. We're into trying to develop the team and see like how far they go. Because my honest opinion, they will. In my opinion, they probably will be either in a play-in team, maybe the 7 to 8 seed. They probably will win, the 7 or 8 seed. Then be in the first round of playoffs, and maybe that'll be it. But then again, you never know. They could be surprising. Oh yeah, and they was thinking like AJ Green should get traded too. It's a whole bunch of nonsense that that's been going on. And I guess they trying to push to trade Kyle Kuzma, but I think that isn't getting nowhere. Kevin Fitzgerald, welcome to the live. I appreciate it. But yeah, I was shocked about this one. Jaylen Brown traded to the 76ers for Paul George, and I think the Boston got like 2 first-round picks from Philly and 2 second-round picks. It's like one of those things you don't even know what to say. Um, but yeah, this like I said, nothing against Jonathan Kuminga, but we don't need an undersized like power forward. Like we do not. If you if y'all was around the time when we had the Anthony Mason experiment, so they picked him. Although he was an all-star, but they picked him over Scott Williams, and they didn't want to resign Scott Williams. So we ended up with Anthony Mason, and we didn't end up making to the playoffs that year. And that's where the fall apart of the Bucks from that 2001 championship. No, now I wouldn't say championship, but a possible title contender. I would put it that way. That great team we have, then with George Carl's ego, I should say, and Herb Cole, but I got the most respect for him in the world, but it was just some of the decisions he was making when it comes to certain players. Like, I've been saying this for a while. He was always looking for the clean cut players. He was looking at he was not looking at the talent. He was looking more the clean cut players that has an image. Part of me, I understand it, but at the same time, you got to go for talent, no matter what. Like, no matter how you feel. But anyways, like I said, that trade and all this stuff, it just ended up being an awful mess. So, we're just gonna look at some X stuff before we go end this show. So, okay, so let's see. And for those who's watching, like this pre-recorded on Daily Motion and YouTube. So yeah, Les was bogey the last time he was at the Bucks building, which looked like it was last year. Then the right is when he was signing his nearly $10 million contract. So yeah, and I like what this person Bus Ram did say, like barely smiling, goatee stash combo, significantly more jacked, an ABA MVP in the rear view. Take a look at his eyes; they'll tell all. So it'll be interesting, if he does get playing time, he probably will be, in position maybe win Rookie of the Year. Um, I think the three people, the 2 people we drafted in the first round, and plus, Bogey, there's a possibility that that they could be in the running for Rookie of the Year. Oh yeah, this Lakers trade. I'm just shocked at this one too. So Walter Kessler is going to the Lakers from the Utah Jazz. For yeah, this is mainly like for picks. So unprotected first round picks 31, 33, first round swaps 2028 and 2030. So Kessler will sign a massive 4 year, $100 million deal with the Lakers. Um, yeah, I think I don't know. I think Lakers is overspending, but then again, they do anyway. So what's the difference? I want to. I like this. Um, I want to celebrate the death of the Celtics, but my team is dead too. Talk about the Bucks. I wouldn't say like the Bucks are totally dead. They just in reset. But the difference is, I don't think the Celtics and owners and stuff like that they're not like in dead water. But I don't know. You got an injury prone like Paul George. Nothing against the guy, he is an all star, but you're not gonna make it nowhere with him. But although he knew it, played majority of the season last season, so that's a good thing. But yeah, that's crazy. I like that. You said he is huge. Yeah, all that, no, the muscle he gained, and he gonna keep on continuing to get like all muscle. But it just would have been cool if Giannis was still there and they would have, having both Joe Markovich playing. Who knows what you would have get with them two? Okay, so that was the update. If y'all don't know, late last night, it got vandalized. The mural of Giannis, like it had a few things that saying "we miss you" and stuff like that. I wouldn't care. That would have stayed on there. Although I'm not in the grievance, saying like, oh, Giannis is a legend in Milwaukee. I'm not ready to say that yet because if he decides, okay, he comes back, season contract, whatever, good. I will say it then, but I just can't say it now because, like I said, ego got in the way, and you just wait till players get older and realize, okay, I shouldn't have done this, and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? But it had some other graffiti that was on there too. Don't know what it was, couldn't tell, but yep. So they're just showing completely finished. It didn't really take them that long to like redo it. Um, if they, like I said, if the Bucks end up getting Jonathan Kaminga, the question would just be just why. Bucks probably could have gotten Jalen for Hero in the Miami picks if they wanted to. True, but it's like Miami was throwing. The only difference was like, although I hate the trade package in the way for Miami, but Miami was giving them more than what they asked for at the last minute. So I think they was better off doing the Miami deal. Although it kind of sucks because like if Milwaukee choose the draft pick for Miami, especially if they end up getting better and we end up getting worse. Although Milwaukee will be the one that have the choice with the two pick spots we got. Bucks and Celtics were about to be the worst team in the 2030s. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say all that. John Horst singularly handled nuclear the Heat and Celtics. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I guess someone a fan of Boston didn't resign a single center in 2025 offseason. Traded Anthony and a pick for Pujovic. Don't know what that is. Missed out on Giannis because you wanted to keep Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Scheinman, who didn't even log playoff minutes this past postseason. The traded the top eight in the franchise history to a divisional rival you just blew a 3-1 lead to for a 35-year-old podcaster or the worst contract in the entire freaking league. That reminds me, if y'all see like Amber's Logic, you always had this guy that come on here called No Strays ENT, always trolling on the Bucks, on the videos of that, talking, hating on the Bucks, talking about Boston. And I said it on the on that podcast too, that after all that stuff, that Jalen Brown was gonna be involved with the Giannis trade if they were, end up just ruining. I'm sorry, but that just ended up ruining Jalen Brown because it won't affect you like it'll affect him like mentally. So he was thinking like, they don't even want me. Why should I like stay here? You know what I mean? So they traded him, and those trades you may not be watching, but if you are, I told you so. That'll be the only I told you so that I did. Well, it'll probably be more if you got people that don't think. Um, but anyways, guys, just talk about that. Like, if they do end up making some more moves, we will, try to keep you updated. So, I'm off for the next 2 days. So, if anything happens, I'll just put it up there. So yeah. Um, but yeah, we just, of course, we'll talk about a little bit, the Saturday's summer league game, which they will start playing. I thought, some of them are at, training right now, and they probably got to end up. They probably leave to California tomorrow just to go practice. So we'll see. Anyways, we're gonna end on this note. Like I said, guys, thank you for watching, and people that's watching on Facebook Live on the WFSO Radio Network. I appreciate you watching. Um, try to get more people, to check us out. So we already said what we do and all that stuff, and and we are happy with our sponsors, Midwest Wrestling Collectibles, and also Race God Sports Cards. We already mentioned Maddie's Memory. We're a proud sponsor of them. Maddie'sMemory.org or Maddie'sMemory.com, or you can look at Pregnancy and Infant Loss Network on Facebook and on TikTok. So, without further ado, thank you guys. Like I said, on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and try and get 1,000 subscribers. We're also, when we get to 1,000, we will start doing giveaways. So you never know what it's going to be. And I guess you guys TikTok, like I said, we still doing that giveaway. Like I said, the first person that sends like a wrestling word, whatever it is, send it to, me on TikTok, and that person will be the winner, the first one that does it. But anyway, guys, man up, woman up, face up, checking in mental health. Until the next video, you guys have a good one, and see you later. So let me, okay, that's Facebook Live, and thank you guys again on TikTok. Appreciate it. See you later. So anyway, guys, oh wow, okay, viewers increase, so that's a good thing. And after you guys YouTube and stuff like that, and plus the ones that's watching on Daily Motion, so link up. But anyway, guys, see y'all later. Have a good one. And if you guys on the live, you always save the best for last. So till the next video, you guys have a good one. See you later.